Welcome back to the channel. My name is a-bomb. We're back with Football Manager 2020 and the promotion project, and we are at our brand new club. We have left Fatih Karagümrük, and in a minute I'm going to show you where we've gone. We have travelled about 1,800 miles. It's a long trip. In a minute I'm going to show you where we've ended up in our second club. But first of all, a few bits to go through on camera. The last game we had for Fatih Karagümrük, I'll go through that. I'll go through the awards, who did finish where for the team, and a couple of other bits and pieces with that before we show you our brand new club. So if you're enjoying the series, drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications. It's been a good 2 seasons with Fatih Karagümrük. We got promoted in our second season as champions. We've moved on, and we'll show you in a minute where we're going. So I took screenshots of the bits that I wanted to show you from the previous club, because I wasn't sure if we'd be able to show you them if we'd move. So the last game against Boluspor, we did draw. It was 1-1. So a 40th minute goal by Coker, and then a late equaliser for them, Boluspor. 94th minute goal meant that we only drew the match, but we got promoted as champions. I think we were 2 points ahead of Tuzlaspor in the end, so we did well. We got promoted, we won the title. And that meant we were moving club. It's the promotion project. We've been promoted. Time to move on. The end of season awards look like this. Octay with the Player of the Season award, 35% of the vote. I think that's deserved. I think he's been a key difference between our first season and this season. He's been very, very good. Alparslan Erdem gets second, which again I think I agree with, and Hassan Akar gets third with 23% of the vote. He's been a solid player for us. Batdal keeps his place at the top of the team of the season. I think Cicek did well as well. Mervan started slowly but did much better. Same with all the wide players really. Sayar was probably our best winger, and the back four was solid throughout the season. So I don't disagree with any of that. Birhan got goal of the season before he got sent back to Galatasaray because he suffered a cruciate injury. Signing of the season was Hassan Akar, £135,000 signing from Kasim Paja. And our young player of the season was Mahia Octay. And we also ended the season by winning the Manager of the Month award. So we managed to achieve something in that as well. So that's good to see. Excellent stuff. So time for you to find out where we are heading next. Now I can tell you that we're heading northwest-ish, almost 3,000 kilometres, and we're going to Scotland. I thought we might be going to Scotland in our first season, but it turns out we weren't. We ended up in Turkey, and now we've gone to Scotland. So I just jumped the gun a little bit with Scotland, and we're joining Inverness Caledonian Thistle in the Scottish Championship. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Andrew Brown has left Fatih Karagümrük to join Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Questions will be raised as to why Brown made the decision to change jobs, but he will face pressure to bring immediate success to Caledonian Stadium, given his former employers and previous standing. Inverness finished the season in 3rd place in the Ladbrokes Championship after losing their last 4 games, got to the playoffs but did not get through that, so they're in the Scottish Championship once again. They're predicted to finish in 5th, I think, so we should be able to get a good sort of top half finish and maybe push towards another playoff and see if we can get a first time promotion with this club and make it 2 promotions in 3 seasons. So let's click next and let's have a look around the club then. We have a welcome from Ross Morrison. Caledonian Stadium, a 7,750 capacity stadium built in 1996. The kit is blue with some nice sort of red and black stripes. Quite a nice kit actually, quite like it. 2.5-star reputation. It is a slight climb from the 2 stars that Fatih were. Media prediction is 5th place. They have no director of football. Their assistant manager is Scott Kelleher. Scottish, not bad attributes actually, looks pretty good. They've got average training and youth facilities. They've got adequate recruitment policy. Founded in 1994, Inverness Caledonian Thistle are a professional Scottish club currently playing in the Ladbrokes Championship. Inverness will be looking to build on their mid-table finish in the Ladbrokes Championship last season. 3rd place they got. They've also got adequate academy coaching. The club is affectionately known as the Cayley Jags. I don't know what that means. Having enjoyed success as recently as 2018, the Cayley Jags are a club with a growing history. Inverness won the Scottish Cup in 2015, finished runners-up in the Betfred Cup in 2014, won the Scottish second tier in 2004 and 2010, and finished runners-up in the Scottish third tier for the only time in 1999. So it looks like they do favour a 4-2-3-1, which is good because that's what we had lots of success with Fatih. So we should be able to stay with a similar mentality. Those 2 midfielders look like they might be defensive midfielders though, but we can change that. There's no loan obligations. Mateus Mercado is off to Sal Bento at the end of the season. He leaves in July 1st. So they're expecting a mid-table finish in this season and then a playoff after that. But hopefully we can exceed those expectations. We're pretty good at doing that usually. So here we go. We've taken charge. Now let's have a look around and see what's going on. This is a very different thing for me. I've never managed a second club in one save, which has never happened to me. We are in quite a bit of debt. So we're picking up where we left off from Fatih. We're about $1.5 million in debt, 1.6 million in debt. There's no transfer budget, a bit of wage budget, but we might still be waiting to see if we get any budget, so I'm not quite sure. But you can see they finished 3rd place, only 2 points behind Ayr in the end, who won the playoffs, I think. And then St Johnstone quite a way ahead, and they go up to the SPFL next season. It's a very small squad. It's a very small squad. This is what we're working with at the moment. It's not great. 2 goalkeepers were okay there. At least Mark Ridges is one of them. How's he doing? He looks okay, actually. He looks fairly solid. Rating, okay, fairly average rating, but good goalkeeping attributes. I like it. He's pretty strong, good jumping reach. Cameron McKay is the second in command, it seems, 2.5 stars. He's out of contract next year. He looks okay for a backup. Kevin McHattie is a left back and also plays as a centre back. Some 12s, some 11s. He's okay. I like someone a bit better than that ideally. Darren Hines is a right back. He's not fantastic. He hasn't really got any good technical attributes there, but he's quick. Jack Brown is a promising sort of defensive midfielder. How is he? Nines and lots of 9s. Not a lot of double figures for him. Cole Donaldson looks like one of our star players. He looks like a more solid central defender. 13s and 12s for those technicals. He's brave, decent in the air, 6'2". So he looks like a good possibility for a real starting centre back. And Jamie McCart as well looks very good. So we need to keep hold of these 2 players. They look like our 2 sort of key defenders. This one's 6'2", and again very solid and very determined. It's nice to have some green in there with that 19 determination. Cameron Harper is another left back. So defence wise we seem to be okay. We could probably improve on some of these guys, but they're pretty good. He can't jump, so that's not really good. Charlie Trafford looks like a good central midfielder. Looks like our sort of playmaker option. Very well rounded. Physically very good. Roddy McGregor, another central midfielder. Again, pretty well balanced actually. Lots of 12s. No 13s in there. Sometimes those teens are nice to have. We've got Tom Walsh, looks like a star player. 4.5 stars. He is a left-sided attacker, sort of inverted winger inside forward. So he's right-footed, yeah. He looks, again, pretty good. There is a 13 then. There he's all right off the ball. Fairly quick. Jamie Gullen is a striker. Doesn't really have a preferred role, though. Looks like a sort of poacher might be best, but nothing that he's really massively suited to. Only 2.5 stars at 21. And Jordan White is our star striker. Looks like a target man. Very strong. 15 heading. That's good. Good teamwork, good work rate. He's brave, so looks like the man to play up top. But not a very big squad at all. Let's have a look at our reserves. Is there anyone here that we can maybe use? Possibly. Well, that Mercado's leaving, so that's a no. But some players here with some good potential. Some 2-star current ability, sort of 4.5 star, 5-star potential. That doesn't look too bad. How about the under 18s? Tom Northcote, decent young goalkeeper, but that's about it there. So we've got our work out here, definitely. I'm not sure how much time we've got for transfers and stuff. Let's try and find the rules for the Ladbrokes Championship, because it's my first time managing in Scotland. All of these leagues are going to be first time managements, so we'll see how we go. So general competition rules. Transfer window ends on the 31st of August, as it usually would. Contract renewals, work permits, because we're in Brexit now, aren't we? Looks like there's no rules regarding under 21s on the bench or anything like that, or foreign players, apart from the work permit rules from Brexit, so that's okay. Squad's a little bit on the light side though, so we definitely need to make some work there. Have we lost many players? Yeah, we lost some players on freeze. Sean Rooney, Josh Rennie have both left, and then we lost some players. That was back in January. So we haven't lost that many players. It's just not a very big squad at all. We can see how they're done in the season though. We can have a look. It did say that they lost their last 4 games. There we go. So they lost their final 2 championship games, which might have seen them stand a better chance of, well, they would have got second place, definitely, but I think St Johnstone were a bit too far ahead. But a pretty bad defeat in the playoffs against Queen of the South, lost 5-0 on aggregate, so that didn't go too well. So it's 15 wins, 13 draws, bit too many for my liking, goal difference of plus 12, 42 goals scored, 30 conceded, so a pretty good defensive record, and with no transfer budget and very little wage budget, it's going to be difficult to put together a squad, like a good squad, because I'm assuming, I don't know how often Scottish leagues play. Do they play like lots of Wednesdays and Saturdays? Not really. No, it's pretty much weekly games. There's no like midweek games in Scotland, it seems, so that's good. But we've definitely got our work cut out here. We're going to see if we actually get any transfer budget or anything like that, and we're in quite a bit of debt, so this is going to be difficult. Definitely, we're going to have to make do with what we got, try and go for some loans and free transfers, see if we can build a squad out of this. I think defense wise, we've got an 11. We might need like a central attacking midfielder, but other than that, we have a good 11. We just need to fill in the blanks in terms of our bench and just try and give the squad a bit of depth. Now, of course, we will be keeping an eye on Fatih Karagümrük throughout the rest of the save to see how they do, to see if they stay in the Turkish Super League after our promotion, and see what sort of people they bring in. We could look at carrying players over. That's something I sort of thought about before. Might be a good idea to sort of bring players that I've used before in and carry them over through my teams and see how far I can take them and see how long I can keep them with me. That would be quite a nice thing to do if they fit into the team. That would be quite good. Just a quick bit about other teams we could have gone to. We could have been in Scotland again and gone with Dundee, and that was something that was looked at. We had an interview with them, but they went with Gary McAllister as their manager. We also had an interview with Strømsgodset, the Norwegian side, who got relegated from the Norwegian Premier Division, and then they finished on mid-table in the next season, so they lost their manager. We had an interview with them, but that did not come to fruition. Some teams here that are still waiting for their first manager, still waiting for their manager. Arda was one. Sparta Rotterdam in the Netherlands we applied for. Kongsvinger also in Norway. Those are the ones that we sort of really applied for that I wanted. There were other ones that were available, but they were expected to finish like mid-table or like bottom half, so they didn't really make sense to go for. But it was between this, Dundee and Strømsgodset, and this was the one that came up. I did try and delay it for a week to see if we could go back to it. Nothing else came up, so this is what we took. Might be a chance to maybe revisit Turkey later on in the save if there's something that comes up over there. We could end up returning back to Turkey at some point if there's other jobs that we can't get, if there's something comes up in Turkey. Not counting that out at all. So the fixtures have been released, and we open our season with an away game against Queen of the South, the team that knocked Inverness out of those playoffs. Don't know if we've got any derbies or anything with these guys. The final day, we are away against Partick Thistle. Alright, the season expectation, the minimum is that we achieve a mid-table finish. We could go for top half, but we're going to stick with mid-table. We want job security. We're going to do that. Betfred Cup, attempt to be competitive, so they don't really mind how we're doing that as long as we put up a bit of a fight. Scottish Cup, minimum 5th round. We can do that. Alright, we're predicted to get 8th, so we're not looking too good in that respect. Rafe promoted. Rofe Ravers, as Stelling always calls them. Rafe Rovers. Alloa were relegated, and they're expected to go down again. And Ross County also relegated from the SPFL. Dundee favourites to go back up. Hamilton second. But yeah, we're down in 8th. So got some work to do, definitely. But hopefully we can bring in players that we need, because the squad's very small. So hopefully we can do that. We've got a local derby with Ross County. So that's the derby for us. Here's our facilities. Data analysis isn't too good. So hopefully we'll be able to work on that at some point. We're affiliated with Fort William. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Fort William, they were at one point thought to be, or probably still are thought to be, one of the worst clubs in the world just because of their record of just how many games they lost, or how many sort of seasons they went without winning. They have since won games, and they got quite a bit of a cult following. I think they had a thing about them on BBC Scotland. Loki Doki managed them a couple of years ago, a couple of FMs ago. So yeah, that's cool. I didn't even realise they were an affiliate. Alright, I'm going to leave things there. We'll probably get some friendlies sorted out. Betfred Cup games are going to be throughout July. Oh, God, we're playing like sort of 5 games in a fortnight. That's not fun for us, especially with the squad that we've got. And then it's straight on to Queen of the South. So those Betfred Cup games, don't know how they're going to go. But I'm going to leave things there, guys. Next time we meet, I'm sure the squad will look a bit more full than it does now. Okay, so the wages aren't that expensive here, really. Sort of £600, £100. They're quite cheap wages. So hopefully we can bring in a couple of players and get some free loans, as I said, and we'll see how we go. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications. And yeah, we are at a brand new club, our second club of the save after our promotion with Fatih Karagümrük. It's going to be strange to see how this goes. And looking at our squads, we've got a lot of work to do here, and hopefully we can do all that work this season and try and get our second promotion with our first season here and our third season in total. But we'll see how we go. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.